Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu, mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services. Discover how to attract more clients with SEO in today's session with Brandon Leibowitz. Brandon Leibowitz runs and operates SEO Optimizers since 2007. His company is a digital marketing company that focuses on helping small and medium-sized businesses to get more online traffic, which in turn leads to converting into clients, sales, leads, and a lot more. The first question is, what is the secret to your success?
I would say just perseverance and patience with everything, because marketing does take time to build a business and grow it. And SEO also takes time, and just being persistent and looking at any challenges as learning opportunities and not just getting discouraged and throwing in the towel, but just working through and trying to learn and grow. And over time, just building that up.
Thank you. What's the secret to attracting new clients with SEO?
SEO is search engine optimization, which is ranking websites on Google. And it's not really one size fits all. Every website's slightly different, but the more important things that Google looks at when ranking a website is text. Google really feeds off text. They struggle with images or videos on a website. So the more text you have on every single page on your website, the easier it is for the search engines to read and understand what that page is about. That's really important, is to make sure everybody adds more text to every single page on your website. But unfortunately, Google doesn't really care what you put on a website because they just don't trust anybody. And you have to build that trust up. And the way to get Google to trust you is by getting other websites to talk about you. The more websites that mention you, the more popular, the more trust Google is going to give to you, and the higher they're going to rank you. You have to be building what are called backlinks, getting other websites to link to yours.
Thank you. So backlinks, is that one of the key strategies for search engine optimization? Or would you say that having a keyword-rich page is also important?
No, you have to do all of it. SEO is like a puzzle, and you can't leave some of those pieces out. You have to really do everything. Some pieces are much bigger, like the content and the keywords on your website and the backlinks. But there's all these other little things that Google looks at: how you structure the website, how frequently you update content, how you even link your own pages together. There's a lot that goes into SEO to getting Google to trust and read a website, because Google is just a robot. And you have to try to figure out, how can I make it easy for this robot to understand and know what my website, what my message is, and what I'm trying to convey to the world.
Thank you. Tell us 5 steps entrepreneurs should take in order to optimize their website and optimize their way of being searched online by Google.
Well, first, before you even put the content, like I was talking about earlier, you'd want to do keyword research. That's usually the starting point, is figuring out what keywords do you want to rank for, not just guessing, but using tools to help you figure out how many people actually search for this keyword, such as the Google Keyword Planner is a great tool from Google, and it's free. And it'll show you how many people search for that keyword. Like for myself, I do SEO classes and teach classes as well. And when I first started doing my classes, I was trying to figure out, should I rank for SEO classes, which I thought was a good keyword. And it turns out that SEO training got double the amount of searches than SEO classes. And that led me to realize I need to change SEO classes to SEO training. And that's going to potentially double my traffic if I'm ranking for that keyword. And that's where keyword research comes into play, where you might get it right, but you might not also get it right. And Keyword Planner takes a few minutes to do the keyword research, and it is free to use. And then once you figure out what keywords you want to rank for, then you sprinkle them in the coding, which gets a little complicated, but the text, just adding more text to every single page and adding keywords in that text is going to really help move you up those rankings. Very important. And then when you're building backlinks from other websites that point to yours, you want to make sure that clickable link that points to your website should contain some keywords in it. That really helps just solidify and build that relevancy up. The more relevant everything is to what somebody's searching, the more likely Google's going to show your website and get you ranked up there, and you're going to start capturing that traffic.
Thank you. I'm familiar with Google Keyword Planner. I use it very frequently. And there are two more tools that I'm familiar with. There's also Answer the Public and AnswerSocrates.com. The only thing is that when I type, for example, in YouTube, a certain keyword, and when I type it in Google, it puzzles me quite a lot, because in, let's say, Google Keyword Planner, you might find that a particular long tail keyword has, let's say, 100 searches, but then you see on YouTube, it has sometimes millions of views. So what tool do you use in order to make sure that the videos that you post on your website are also helping towards search engine optimization? Do you use TubeBuddy, or do you use something else, or video is not part of the SEO technique?
SEO is ranking really anything on a search engine. So it could be YouTube, it could be ranking you on Yelp or TripAdvisor or anywhere. But what you were saying with one keyword, the Google Keyword Planner might say it gets 100 search or 1,000 searches every single month, but that keyword might have variations that people search of synonyms and plurals and reordering the words around. So that one search might, or ranking for that one keyword, might really actually get you ranking for 10 different keywords, and all those keywords combined over time would get that traffic. So, and also sometimes Google Keyword Planner tells you weird things, like it doesn't get any searches, but I'm like, I search for that keyword. I know people search for it. So I just take everything with a grain of salt, because Google's not really there to help you out. They want you to spend money on paid ads. And that tool, the Google Keyword Planner, is more for paid ads, but people use it for SEO to try and figure out that search volume. So what they tell you is it's better than nothing. But if you're doing YouTube SEO, then like you said, TubeIQ or TubeBuddy, and Video IQ are some tools that would help out with that. But with video or YouTube, really important thing is trying to add more. Just like you add text to your website, you want to add text to your description of your video. Make sure you fill it out, transcribe that video if it's a short video. If it's a long video, maybe timestamp it. Have a good title. Make sure that the file name has keywords in it before you upload the YouTube video. Same with images or anything that you add to the internet. Make sure that file name has descriptive words. If it's bunch of people smiling, just name it like happy people smiling.jpg if it's a picture. But if it's, and eventually you're gonna have pictures with your keywords in it that you can include them, but don't really spam those images or those file names. Just really try to be descriptive of what that image or video or audio is when you're uploading it to YouTube. And then if you could share that video, like if you could take that video on YouTube, when you're watching it, it has that share button. If you could share, click share and then click embed, and take that video, embed it on your website. And the more websites you embed that video on, it's kind of like you're building backlinks to that YouTube video. And just like your website needs backlinks, if you could build some backlinks to YouTube videos, that helps out as well with the algorithm, because Google owns YouTube and they're not the same algorithms, but they have definitely some similarities and lots of overlap.
Thank you. How keyword rich should an article or blog on your website be? Let's say that you figured out there is a particular keyword that has high searches of, let's say, 3 words. And how often should you use those exact 3 words into the text of the article to make sure you're not keyword spamming? If you're not like being, like you're able to leverage the fact that you have that particular keyword in the title and then inside the text. How many times do you suggest having it?
You really need to do more than your competition, or not more, but similar to your competition. So what you need to do is analyze your competition and figure out what that keyword is. Go into Google, search for that keyword, and open up all those websites on that first page of Google. Skip over the ads. Ads are not the same as organic, the free listings. And when we're doing research, we want to look at the organic listings, open up all those websites, and you can figure out or average out the text so you can see how much text everyone's writing. That will give you an indication of how much text do you need to write. Do you need to write 100 words? If everyone's writing 100 words, write 120 words. If everyone's writing 1,000 words, maybe write 1,100 words. So do a little bit more than your competition, because it really is not a one size fits all with SEO. It really depends on those keywords, and also with the number of times that you repeat those keywords. That's where you want to try to analyze your competition. It might be a little bit tougher to do it manually, but there's tools like Surfer SEO that will let you put a keyword in there and it will analyze the top 10 positions and see how frequently words are used. So you can see how many times you should use that word, and any plurals or synonyms or variations and just other common words. It'll let you know to add those into the content.
Thank you. Do you recommend leveraging any AI tools to do SEO on your website?
AI is not accurate yet, and it does those AI hallucinations. And if you just copy and paste everything from AI, it's probably not going to be good, and it might actually do more harm than good. But Google said we don't care who writes the content as long as it's accurate. And you could just use AI as a tool and as a starting point to like give you ideas for blog post topics, or if you want to have it write outlines for service pages or product pages. But if you just say, write me an article about, if you're selling dog food, about dog food, it's going to be really generic and boring and kind of not having that real human touch. So that's where you just got to be more specific and just be more strategic with how you use AI. In the future, you can probably just use it, copy it verbatim. But right now, I'm trying to say, like, give me the search volume of these keywords, and it gives me much different numbers than the Google Keyword Planner does, or even other tools like Moz or SEMrush or Ahrefs. Those are all paid tools, but those all show much different numbers as well. And that's where you just got to just double and triple check anything from AI. You could use it as a guide to help you out as a tool, but just don't rely on it solely to do all the work for you.
Thank you. I think, for example, in WordPress, there are some, I'm not sure if they're called apps or something else, that give you suggestions of SEO. Do you recommend using any of those or not?
You could use them as a starting point, but again, most of them, it's so new AI that it's not there yet where you just copy and paste it, because you could go into ChatGPT or any of these AI tools and say, write me an SEO title tag, which is a really important part of a website. Every page you use an SEO title tag. Should be 60 characters, should include all the really important keywords at the beginning with your company name at the end. And if you have it do it, it might write some good ones, but it might just not be there yet. It's hit or miss. But the more people that use it, the more it's going to learn and become more accurate and just learn from all the data sets. So right now it's still pretty new, but in the future, it's definitely going to help out a lot with the on-page optimizations, writing blog posts, writing social media posts, writing emails. A lot of stuff is going to be taken over by AI.
Thank you. Tell us about a case study of a client or a company you've worked with, and what steps did they take to optimize their SEO?
There are lots of clients I've worked with over the years since 2007, been doing this, but one, I guess that's pretty interesting, is they had a website that was probably 20 years old, the domain name, and it's been around for a long time. They lease cars out and they have a lot of backlinks, but they weren't getting any traffic, and just trying to figure out what was going on with their website, and realized the way the website was built was blocking or not allowing Google to read a lot of the stuff, and it was just built in a way that Google couldn't find a lot of pages. So we had to rebuild the website on a newer platform, unfortunately. But once we changed platforms and made it so Google could read it, Google saw all the backlinks and was trusting that website. It just didn't know what keywords to rank it for. That's where we went in, changed the keywords on like a title tag and meta description and header tags and all these real technical places. But Google looks at that as signals to what this page is about. And by doing that, they pretty much shot up the rankings within the first month of rebuilding the website to almost ranking number one for a lot of keywords. Now they rank pretty much number one for all their keywords because they've been around for so long. And now we're just building more backlinks and adding more content, more blogs to the website just to keep it relevant and updated, and keep Google or letting Google know that we're still in business. Because to Google, if you're not updating your website, they might think that you're out of business. So just updating it every once in a while with fresh content helps out as well.
Thank you. How useful is it to integrate your website with Google reviews or
any other way of reviews or anything that kind of helps it to update, to add fresh content?
Reviews are good if you could get reviews, but not everyone is able to get reviews. But if you get reviews, that will help you a little bit with Google Business Profile, Google Maps ranking higher, but doesn't really, reviews aren't the number one thing that ranks you higher on maps. It's getting you on more maps. The more maps you're in, the higher you're going to rank on Google Maps. So getting you on like Apple Maps and Bing Maps, MapQuest, even Yellow Pages, and all these maps, the more maps you're in, the higher you're going to rank on Google Maps. But reviews help for people because people want to see reviews. So you have to think of getting Google to trust you. That way Google ranks you higher on the search. And then once people get to your website, you got to get people to trust you. Reviews really help out a lot with that.
Thank you. What are the most useful things entrepreneurs can start doing when they are looking to do SEO for their website?
I would really say backlinks, because a lot of people don't know about backlinks and haven't been working to build backlinks, or they know about backlinks, but they're building the wrong type of backlinks. And you have to be careful with the backlinks. You have to find sites that are related to what you're doing. That's really important. Not just getting any random website to link out to you, but they need to be related to what you're doing, and they need to have some authority and trust. Those are two really important aspects with the backlinks. If you just get any random site, it probably will actually drop you down in rankings, because Google looks at the quality of these backlinks as trust signals, and you want good quality websites to link out to you as sending good trust signals. But you have to be careful and, again, cautious. And there's lots of different ways to build those backlinks. And a good, safe way to build backlinks is by getting you on other websites that relate to what you're doing. And a good way to do that is offer something free, like content, maybe an article or a blog post, or do an interview, or even being a guest on people's podcasts is another way to get other websites to link out to you. So it's all about just trying to get creative and think about how you could build relationships, and pretty much it's like networking on the internet. How do you network with other webmasters and website owners and business owners online?
Thank you. What other things have entrepreneurs you've helped implemented to improve their SEO?
Then you have to track everything. So tracking through Google Analytics or Google Search Console, both are very important. And Google Analytics is just going to give you a general overview of all your traffic. Google Search Console is going to give you a more in-depth overview of your performance, SEO performance, and any issues and things like that will show up in Search Console. But both are really good to help you make data-informed decisions instead of just guessing at what's working. Using tools like that are free will give you the data to help you make statistically informed decisions about what pages are working, what products are selling, or like maybe you're getting a lot of traffic to this one product, but nobody's buying it. And you look in Google Analytics and you see that there's an 80% bounce rate, meaning 80% of the people that come to that page left immediately. Then you're like, all right, maybe something's off with this page. Does it look bad on mobile? Or does it load slowly? Or maybe I'm selling this product at a price that's too high. It's going to let you know that you need to change something, because unfortunately, most websites will have like about half the traffic leave that bounce rate. But if it's 80% of the people are leaving, that's really a signal that something's off with your website. You need to change it. And without tools like Google Analytics, you're not really going to know what's going on behind the scenes.
Thank you. What other tools, aside from what you already mentioned, have entrepreneurs you've helped?
Most other tools can be a little expensive, like for checking backlinks. Backlinks are very important, and a great way to also build backlinks is let's spy on your competition, and let's look at your competitors' backlinks and see who's ranked on page one for your keywords. Throw them into these tools and look for the backlinks that are relevant and authoritative, and try to build relationships, because now we can see how your competitors are building backlinks. Do they do blogs? Do they do trade shows? Do they sponsor events? Do they join like a chamber of commerce or the Better Business Bureau, or whatever it is? We could reverse engineer their entire strategy, but most of these tools are paid, or the better tools that seem to have better results, like Ahrefs or Moz or SEMrush, are unfortunately paid. They're like $100 a month. But if you're just a business, a small business or a medium-sized business, you could just buy it for 1 month. And usually you could do all your research, download all the reports, and you don't have to keep paying for it indefinitely. If you're doing SEO full-time or in a really competitive niche, then you might need to use it a little bit more. But in general, if you don't have too much competition, you don't need to be actively paying for these SEO tools.
Thank you. How long does it take to start ranking your website on page number 1? And is it worth it versus just paying for ads?
Ads are good. As long as you're making more than you're putting in for the ads, there's no reason not to run ads. But in the long run, you don't want to only rely on ads, because if you stop running ads, you just disappear. In the long run, SEO is going to be a better strategy. It takes more time. It's not immediate. It takes about 6 months. Could take longer depending on the competition, or it could be a little bit shorter. Like that one client I had was a rarity, but they had a bunch of backlinks and a bunch of trust to Google. And we just did a couple changes to the website and shot them up pretty much instantaneously. But you just have to be patient with SEO and know that you have to be in it for a long haul. And because Google just doesn't trust a website, and it's not easy to get Google to trust a website. And the backlinks really build that trust up. And you can't just build 100 backlinks all at once. You need to build a couple every single month to Google. That's how a normal website would look, is they're slowly getting more and more backlinks. And over time, Google's going to trust you more and then rank you for those keywords.
Thank you. Are there any hacks entrepreneurs can use in order to speed the process of SEO?
There are some tricks, but it's probably better to avoid them, because Google looks for any hacks and is constantly updating their algorithm, mainly to stop people from gaming the system. And anything that seems too good to be true, it might work in the short run, but in the long run, it's probably going to do more harm, because Google's going to catch on and then penalize you and drop you down, which we don't want that to happen. So anything that you're doing to your main website, that's your business, I would avoid anything that seems a little sketchy or too good to be true. But if you want to buy a domain for a couple bucks and play around with it, go for it. And you can see that there are ways to kind of game the system, but you don't want anything to happen to your website in the long run. I would never do that to my clients or my own website, because it's just not worth the risk to reward, because you might temporarily rank, but in the long run, Google's going to catch you, and they're constantly looking for ways to penalize people. That way you get frustrated and spend money on paid ads, and Google makes more money.
Thank you. What are the top mistakes entrepreneurs make when trying to SEO their website?
A lot of people just don't really understand backlinks, and they'll go on a site like Fiverr and buy 1,000 backlinks for $5, which, again, anything that seems too good to be true is probably too good to be true. And with the backlinks, you have to build them up slowly, and they have to be quality, not quantity. So in the past, Google used to work as the more backlinks you had, the higher you'd rank on Google. But Google's changed over the years, because people have gamed the system and they've updated their algorithm, and they constantly update their algorithm looking for people that are gaming the system, building low quality backlinks. So find sites that are really relevant to what you're doing and have authority. Those two things will help with the backlinks. Don't just get any random website.
Thank you. What's the difference between what used to work and what doesn't work anymore in terms of SEO?
For the most part, as long as you're not trying to hide stuff, you don't really have to worry. Like in the past, people would put in font size 0.001 on their website in white text if their website had a white background, a bunch of keywords and things like that, where it would work. But again, anything that seems too good to be true probably is, and avoiding things like that, or meta keywords is a tag that a lot of webs or Google used to use as a ranking signal. They stopped doing that back in 2009, and a lot of people still have that meta keywords on their website. It's not bad, but it's not really necessary, and could seem a little spammy if you're putting a bunch of keywords in there. So just trying to stay up to date with everything. And Google has a long list of things they're looking for, like mobile friendliness, really important, because mobile has dominated and taken over, and making sure your website's mobile first, desktop secondary, built and optimized for conversions is really important nowadays. And it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, the mobile devices.
Thank you. Tell us about some of your case studies and success stories that you've had, and could you quantify them? For example, let's say company A was getting 50 to 100 clients per month or whatever, and then after working with you for 6 months, they started to get, I don't know, this many more. Or give us an example of how this SEO works in terms of like quantity and volume of clients that you can potentially attract if once the program kind of starts running.
So the quantity would also depend on the search volume of the keywords. The more search volume, the more traffic and leads they're going to get. But with SEO, it's really trying to make sure we get them ranking for those keywords. And then once people get to your website, then we work with the website to try to optimize it for conversions, which a lot of people don't really think about that when building the website. Like, how do I get people from my website to fill out that form or call me, email me, buy my product? And that really is a tough part. But with SEO, I've worked with one of my past clients was a dentist, and they were a new practice, a new firm, and or a new office, and ranking them up there for keywords related to dentists, like emergency dental work or root canal or tooth pain and things like that, and just trying to figure out all the different services, building those pages out to target those different keywords. Because if someone's searching for root canal, they don't need a teeth cleaning. And that's where you have to create, really structure and build your website in a way that makes sense for Google to read it and for people, but trying to break it down as much as possible and getting as granular as possible. The more content, the more pages you have, the more keywords you're going to be able to target and rank for, and hopefully convert those into leads. But in general, with SEO, it's usually my main focus is getting you ranked to the top and getting you that traffic to your website, and then trying to get those conversions, which that part is also on how the website's built and structured. And then sometimes there's only so much I could do, but I really tell people, like, try to have all your important information at the top of your page, because most people aren't really going to scroll down on the website. But Google will read from top to bottom for SEO purposes. So you can put keywords and content lower down, but at the top, really make it for people and have like a video or an image or bullet points, something easy to skim through and read with a value proposition, letting people know what's in it for me. And doing so with the dentist, we did that on all the pages, put a value proposition at the top, put the form at the top. That way people don't have to scroll down, especially on mobile, and try to simplify the form because, well, and putting the phone number everywhere, because with the dentist, actually, they're getting more phone calls. Not many people fill out a form looking for a dentist or would email them. But we could then track it using call tracking and things like that to see how many calls they get. And by doing that, that dentist had, they weren't in a big city, they were in a smaller city, but once the SEO started working, they started getting, I'd say, about 5 to 10 calls per day after about 6 months in that city of ranking their website, but also ranking them on Google Maps, Google Business Profile, because that gets a lot of clicks. It's easy to click to call right there, and trying to rank them on Yelp as well, because that also gets a lot of searches for service-based, some service businesses, not all of them, but just trying to capture as much visibility and exposure, because Yelp usually ranks for a lot of keywords on Google. So if we could get them to rank at the top of Yelp without having to spend money on Yelp ads, that's going to help them get more leads for their dental practice.
Thank you. What websites tend to be useful for entrepreneurs to link to, like you mentioned before, the Yelp or any other websites that you suggest backlinking with?
And you want to get other websites to link out to you. So you want to try to get Yelp to link to you, and then you want to join a chamber of commerce in your city. That usually gets you a backlink. But then you got to find other websites that are related to what you're doing and build relationships with them, because these websites are going to be from anywhere in the world. Well, let's say you're a lawyer, you could, or let's go back to the dentist. The dentist would want other websites related to like health and wellness and potentially other dentists. And with the dentist, you can reach out to other dentists in other cities. Like if you're in New York, you could reach out to dentists in Austin and see if they would give you a backlink, if you could write for them, because you're not really direct competitors. I do SEO, it's a little bit tougher. Can't really reach out to other SEO companies, but I could find websites related to like business or marketing or entrepreneurship, anything somewhat related. That's where you just gotta try to think outside the box, or use these tools that look at your backlink, your competitors' backlinks, to figure out what strategies they've employed. And then you're going to get ideas from that and see what's going to work for your industry, because everything is not really one size fits all with SEO. It really comes down to who your competition is, how much SEO have they done, and how can you do a little bit better of a job than they've done.
Thank you. And what's your message to entrepreneurs worldwide?
I'd say just be patient with it, and it does take time with SEO. If you're not seeing those immediate results, don't get discouraged. With SEO, it does take time. And if it's in a really competitive industry, it could take more than 6 months, but don't only rely on SEO. Paid ads work, social media, email marketing, or if you want to do traditional marketing, TV, print, radio, and just try to get traffic from as many sources as possible. The more, the better. And that's really going to help you stay afloat in the long run and not just be reliant on one source, which works. But in the long run, you never know what's going to happen. And you want to be prepared and plan out for anything that could happen.
Thank you so much. And stay tuned to the next podcast.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.